I made this like a full-length movie. So grab some popcorn, some candy, soda, anything you want to enjoy this feature-length story. I wanted to make this story feature-length, but this could be a two-parter. Part 2 will involve the Zack Snyder version. I'm going to make a poll about this, asking you if you want to see Part 2 happen. Part 2 will follow the Zack Snyder's Justice League that we know and love, and that we know now because of Zack. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get underway. Bum bum bum. We cut to a rooftop as we open the movie. We see none other than Slade Wilson talking to Amanda Waller on a communicator. She asks him why hasn't he killed Luthor yet? Wilson explains these things take time. And if she wants Luthor dead, she'll have to wait. Because he has his own agenda. Luthor offered him a pretty intriguing offer at the end of Justice League. A team-up. He explains if this idea Luthor has for our own team doesn't work, then I'll kill him. But until then, you're gonna have to wait. We see Luthor fighting Superman on a nearby skyline. Superman has kidnapped Lois Lane, who's right now in child labor. Superman can't punch through as Luthor laughs that his kryptonite armor makes him indestructible. He holds Superman by his cape and tosses him off a building. He laughs maniacally as he pulls out his kryptonite missile system and fires upon Superman. He then realizes something's wrong as his missiles won't fire. Batman has disabled them. Superman and Batman have been working together, but Batman was falling from behind. As Diana has taken Lois to a nearby hospital to give birth to her and Superman's child. This is my idea of how this movie could play out if Diana and Superman decided to team up. The Justice League have been working together for some time now. They still don't know how to work together in unison because they're a new team. But they work well together. The Flash has been taking some time off because of some events that will happen in the Flash movie. The events of the Flash movie will tie in with this sequel. So sadly, the 2023 Flash movie will happen first. This will be sort of a sequel to the HBO, the Max Justice League original, but it won't be a full sequel. This is a sequel to Joss Whedon's Justice League through and through. It's not a sequel for Zack Snyder's vision. As Batman and Superman defeat Luthor, they see kryptonite, and the armor is made of kryptonite. Superman asks Batman one question. You said you got rid of all the excess kryptonite. I said I lost it. I said I didn't destroy it. Batman and Superman are on edge at this point. Before the armor crashes off the LexCorp building, Luthor jetpacks out of an escape pod. Should we go after him? No. I'm still feeling a little weak after that. Superman's a little weakened by the kryptonite blasts. Luthor's armor was equipped with a lot of kryptonite weapons, similar to the weapons Batman used on him in their battle 10 years prior to this. It's been 10 years since Batman v Superman, keep in mind. Keep in mind it's been 10 years since Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Batman has been on the trail of Luthor for a while now, but hasn't seemed to find him. As Luthor lands, he walks out to meet Wilson on the roof of his new LexCorp building. As Deathstroke explains, if you want to keep this up, you're going to have to pay me extra. As Luthor asks how much money determines how long you want to live for. Luthor's been knowing that Deathstroke has been after to kill him, but he hasn't been knowing about it till now. Luthor tells Slade that he's been knowing about his ultra agendas, like the one agenda to kill him. Deathstroke just scoffs at the idea, saying that his idea to team up changed his mind. But if he pulls one wrong move, he's dead. Luthor agrees with Slade's request. They haven't assembled a team yet because they haven't found anyone that could rival this new league. One of the people they have recruited so far is Black Manta. This will follow sometime after Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So this means that this will probably follow a post-credit scene in that movie where we see Aquaman, where we see Luthor and where we see Slade break Black Manta out of prison. We know that Cheetah's dead, so there will be no Cheetah in this movie. And besides, Minerva wouldn't be interested in the team-up. Minerva would only be interested to get revenge on Wonder Woman. She wouldn't be interested in working with Luthor. Wilson has a talk with Luthor, and the two just think about their future. An emergency meeting is held at the Hall of Justice, as Batman pulls out the detached missile launcher and pulls out a shard of kryptonite inside. They're just normal missiles, but because of the kryptonite inside the missile launcher, the missiles have been tainted by its residue. The missiles turn back to their normal red nuclear color, revealing that they were LexCorp and Wayne Enterprises nuclear warheads back from when his company used to manufacture weapons. Batman explains that 10 years prior, his father used to manufacture weapons for the military. But after his father died, Bruce made sure to deactivate any signs of his family's corrupt past. As he shows the Wayne Enterprises logo on the missiles. The one company that has the most military involvement in the city is LexCorp. LexCorp's been known to sell weapons to the military in Metropolis. Sure, LexCorp has a Gotham division, but Luthor barely visits that division. Bruce didn't shut down the Gotham division because he didn't have the resources at the time. He only has Alfred and Lucius Fox, so he can't really shut down anything. Being heir to the Wayne family fortune gives Bruce some courtesies. So what, you expect us to find this kryptonite before anyone else does? I know where the kryptonite landed. It landed east, outside of Metropolis. Meaning that Batman has known about where the kryptonite landed, but didn't tell anyone. He still hasn't got to the whole team thing. He always worked alone. Diana realizes that Bruce knew all along. You knew about the kryptonite all along, didn't you? I did. The movie can play out the same way here. The MySequel plays out sort of like the Snyder Cut. We get some flashbacks to the first movie as we get a final piece of the puzzle. Batman explains he's been monitoring some sort of outer space frequency coming to Earth. He believes it's maybe something from the same place that sent Steppenwolf 10 years prior. So that means that Batman knows that Darkseid may be coming. So he's been planning some precautionary measures in case Darkseid does come as he fears. Superman senses it too, with Diana hearing legends of a conqueror. Not like Kang, but something more darker. Darkseid is coming. She explains that 10 years prior to this, an outer space new god from the planet Apokolips tried to merge Earth with his planet. He used the power of the Mother Box to do this. This can hint at some of the legend used in the Snyder Cut. I think the legend used in the Justice League Snyder Cut would fit better here. This is where we would see the Green Lantern and some other people from the Snyder Cut flashback, including Zeus and Diana's half-brother Ares. This is a better place for us to have that flashback because I think that would be a better place to have this flashback. It shows Zeus and Ares still fighting side by side as brothers before their eventual falling out. As the meeting cuts to black. Meanwhile, we see Luthor gaze upon the defeated Doomsday. As Luthor's outer space satellites picked up something, but were then destroyed. Luthor tries to contact his outer space satellite research station in space, but somehow the space station isn't responding. He believes that someone or something took it out. Something stronger and much more ruthless. This is where we can predict that Luthor knew about Darkseid coming, but he didn't know what it was. Luthor travels into space to see what happened. His satellite's in pieces. Someone or something tore it to pieces. We see the marks, similar to a parademon. But the only difference is, these parademons seem more ruthless. Like they had a more ruthless leader. But then we see it. Lashes and a strong rip in one of the spacemen. We are getting a hint that the female Furies will play a role in this movie. So the female Furies could play a role as a secondary antagonist. Luthor returns from space, telling Wilson about what he found. Your little space satellite doesn't involve me, Luthor. You remember our deal. I help you, I don't kill you. Act 2 can cut to black. We begin Act 3 with full battle. We see the female Furies arrive from a boom tube. This is where Wonder Woman sees them. The legendary Furies of Apokolips. As we see the female Furies charge, Now let's reveal some new cast members. The female Furies are by name, so let's go one by one to give our cast members. Who plays who in this movie? First up is Lashera. She's played by Mackenzie Foy. She's played by actress Mackenzie Foy. Next is Mad Harriet. She's played by Harley Quinn actress Margaret Robbie. Big Barda is played by Mia Wasikowska. Big Barda's actress is Mia Wasikowska, an Alice vet. And Stompa is played by none other than Helene Bonham Carter. We have two Alice vets taking on the role of female Furies. With one more, Granny Goodness, voiced by Anna Hathaway. Anna Hathaway and Mackenzie Foy are reunited on the set of Justice League 2. But Granny Goodness doesn't seem to fight. She just sent her Furies to Earth. She doesn't want to fight. She prefers to mind control. As Darkseid looks on with his arms crossed. Steppenwolf failed me. Let's make sure the Furies don't, or there will be retribution. We see Darkseid's eyes begin to glow red with fury. He shows what he will do to the Furies if any of them fail, as he fires his Omega beams at a Parademon, scorching the Parademon until it's barbecued. Its wings fall off as the Parademon screams in agony, as its wings fall off brittle and bare from the barbecue. Darkseid explains, "Your Furies won't be so lucky." As Darkseid walks back to his throne with one arm behind his back. Granny is afraid. If any of her Furies fail, they'll end up like that Parademon, only worse. We then get our battle down on Earth, as we see the Justice League battling head to head. But then we see the return of the Flash, as he bashes into Mad Harriet. Mad Harriet and the Flash's battle begins, with Mad Harriet laughing and following the Flash. "Come back, little man! I just want to kill you!" As she pulls out her sharp claws and is about to lay a mark, when the Flash punches her into a wall. Mad Harriet is flung back. Lashuria fights Wonder Woman. It's lasso against whips. The Princess of the Amazons. I've been looking forward to this fight. But this is where Big Barda realizes something. She doesn't want to follow Granny's orders anymore. She tries to convince her fellow Furies to stand up to Granny. "Are you questioning the orders of Darkseid, Barda?" As Barda knocks Stompa back, helping Superman. As we see one more Fury turn on Granny. The one hidden Fury that we never saw. As we see Mr. Miracle punch through the Fury's ranks. Mr. Miracle joins the Justice League with Big Barda. Stompa is outnumbered, but she manages to throw back Miracle and Barda. "Traitors! For the will of Darkseid, we obey!" As Barda tries to convince her fellow Furies to do the same, none of the Furies want to. They follow the will of their master, Darkseid. Superman defeats them as they're thrown into a boom tube to Apokolips. Granny looks in fear as we hear Darkseid's roar. As Darkseid charges up his Omega Beams, he doesn't barbecue them. He has his Omega Beam set to something different as he fires a blue stream out of his eyes. These ones shock them. These ones shock the Furies, torturing them in agony. We hear them scream in agony as Granny is tortured by the same beams. Darkseid is ticked. But I think it's time I reveal Darkseid's actor. It's Josh Brolin, who played Thanos in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and Guardians of the Galaxy, but he only had a minor role. The boom tube closes as Darkseid prepares for war. Mr. Miracle and Barda pull out their hands for handcuffs, but Superman explains that you betrayed Darkseid today. I offer you a place on the Justice League. Barda and Mr. Miracle stand up and agree to join. The movie ends with the half-full league standing up together. Time for a few post-credit scene stuff to get it out of the way. The post-credit scene for Justice League Part 2, we see Darkseid contact Steppenwolf about his battle on Mars. The Martians are easy to conquer. We'll soon have the Mother Box very soon, my liege. As we see Steppenwolf pull out his battle axe, he begins to charge in. His helmet protects him from the Martians' mind control and telepathy.